Hey guys, what's happening? It's Richard Purnell here. Welcome to another exciting, exhilarating episode of comics! So, this week's comics that I got 3 books this week. And you know, it wasn't necessarily an eventful week, it was kind of a small week. I didn't really have much of a motivation to review them in a video, so I thought instead I would talk about something else that's kind of been lingering on my mind, if you don't mind. Was that a bad pun? Something that's on my mind, if you don't mind? So the thing I want to talk about is something that I kind of addressed in the last video I uploaded for you guys. And if you haven't seen the last video, it was my review of Man of Steel. So I'll put a link down below, watch it. I talked about a scene that happens at the end of the movie that to this very day has been polarizing fans of the movie, and it's basically the moment in the movie that's been breaking people's hearts after they watched it. So from this point forward, I just want to warn you that this is going to be a spoiler-filled video. So if you have not seen Man of Steel, don't watch this unless you don't care about spoilers. But I'm telling you, don't watch this. So basically, here's what happens at the end of Man of Steel. So after Superman here has destroyed the gravity Krypton machine, he proceeds to send the vast majority of the Kryptonian army back to the Phantom Zone where they came from. Save for one, General Zod. And Zod basically gets up in Superman's grill and is all like, "You stole my soul and killed my people," and then they get into this big fight and buildings are falling over. And then the scene ends with the two falling into this building and General Zod is getting ready to zap this couple with his heat vision. Oh god, I threw Superman at my face. Why did I do that? See, it's such a destructive movie that the toys lunge at you. Man, that scared the crap out of me when he just like came at me.
With his heat vision.
So after that, General Zod, again, he sees this family across the way and he's using his heat vision to kind of, you know, just slowly, sadistically, you know, torture Superman as he inches the heat vision closer and closer to this family. And Superman's got him in this headlock and he's screaming, "No, Zod, don't do it, stop!" And then Zod just screams, "Never!" Then Superman proceeds to do this. But instead of just saying like, oh, you know, all is said and done and, you know, flies away and whatnot, he belts out a scream in agony and pain, just, "Oh, why? Ah!" And that's the scene in question that's getting people upset. Now, I can totally understand why. It's because the thing is, Superman doesn't kill. Especially, like, the image of just, like, the violence, and it's supposed to have an impact. I mean, that's the whole point of the scene. And just the imagery alone of seeing that happen, you know, seeing Zod's neck snap, that's impactful and could have some, like, earth-shattering, you know, movie, heartbreaking feelings for fanboys. I can totally see that. But is it a scene of cold-blooded murder, or is it a Kobayashi Maru kind of situation? Basically, I don't think Superman could have done anything else but that, and he didn't want to do that, but he was put in a situation where he had to do that. And you can see from the aftermath of that, you know, just how painful it was, and just how heartbreaking it was. So, I mean, that's just kind of like my general take on it. It's like, I felt Superman's pain from doing something like that, and he was stuck in a situation where there was nothing else he could do. And some people argue, like, well, why didn't he, like, put, you know, his hands over General Zod's eyes? Like, it doesn't matter if he tries to stop the heat vision. Zod's still gonna do something. So, I mean, that's kind of my, in general, take on that particular scene. But there's something else that I find kind of interesting. A lot of the reasons that people have gave for not liking that scene was the simple notion that Superman doesn't kill. But let's think about this for a second. Looking away from the comics, I want to look at the movies. And if you remember, the only other time General Zod has appeared in a Superman movie was in Superman 2. A movie that, you know, for the most part, people didn't love as much as Superman 1. But as time went on and Richard Donner got to, you know, release his cut of the second movie, you know, that was a version that people actually really liked. But if you remember, at the tail end of Superman 2, a scene that I haven't really heard many complaints about, but at the tail end of Superman 2, Superman kills General Zod. And not just kills General Zod, he plans it out in his head how he's going to kill General Zod, and once he does it, he's happy about it. So if you don't remember how the scene played out in Superman 2, here's I'll paint you a picture. So at the end of Superman 2, we see General Zod, the two other Kryptonian people whose name escaped me, Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, and Superman in the Fortress of Solitude. But little does everybody else in the room know that when Superman goes into that machine, he actually reverses the effects of the machine. Basically, this is Superman taking away General Zod's powers as well as the other Kryptonians. And Superman goes up to General Zod, and General Zod, you know, thinking that Superman's lost his powers, and Superman's kind of lumbering his way over there. And, you know, Zod's basically saying, Superman, kneel before me, take my hand and accept me as your, you know, your leader or something like that. Something around those lines. And, you know, he sticks his hands out and, you know, Superman takes General Zod's hand and proceeds to crush it. Superman gets up with a grin on his face that he just crushed this man's hand, picks him up by his torso and chucks him across the Fortress of Solitude, and then falls down this hole to his death. And to make matters even more sinister, Lois Lane pushes Ursa, that was her name, right? Ursa, the lady Kryptonian? Yeah, Lois Lane pushes Ursa, or does something, and kills her, and then her and Superman are all like, we saved the day, da 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 da, we're the winners. But no, definitely, if you look at the two scenes, you know, if I were to pick which one I thought was more cold-blooded murder when it came to those two scenes, definitely going with Superman 2 on that one, because again, Superman planned that out. Now, admittedly, if you look at the two scenes, as far as impact goes, the Man of Steel scene's definitely a lot more impactful. Because, I mean, you know, it's more modern, and you're seeing, you know, something that's very violent, very visceral, very just like, whoosh, you know, it's very in your face. And then, if you look at, you know, Superman 2, it's like the effects are very low budget. And so it's not, and you got the happy-go-lucky score. You know, Superman wins. John Williams music playing in the background, and so yeah, definitely because of the way the scenes played out, there's a big difference, and one can definitely be more impactful than the other. But if you look at both scenes as a whole, just looking at them, I would definitely say Superman 2 is a lot more cold-blooded in its killing of Zod. So again, long story short. For me, this whole kind of situation, this whole controversy about this scene in Man of Steel kind of makes me think of the various different hypocritical, you know, fanboy situations that we find ourselves in. You know, you look at something like a death scene in Man of Steel and, you know, hating that Superman killed somebody in this movie. But at the same time, if you look at something like Batman Begins, no one really complained when Bruce Wayne essentially did not save Ra's al Ghul and just let him die. That's essentially him killing him. Or even in the situation with the whole Wonder Woman pants situation. You remember that? You know, Wonder Woman, you know, a lot of people complain about, you know, superheroines being too scantily clad and showing too much or anything like that. Then you give Wonder Woman pants and fanboys are like, no! No! You don't do that! So, for my opinion, when it comes to, you know, this whole Superman killing General Zod deal, that's how I kind of see it. So that's just my whole spiel on that aspect of Man of Steel. Am I right? No, I'm not right. It's just my opinion. That's just what I think. So, as always, in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on this whole this whole thing on the end of Man of Steel? What are your thoughts on this? But anyways, that's about it for this guy. Don't forget to like this video. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, directorscutradio.com, and Tumblr. Links are all down below. Subscribe to this video, or to this channel, not to this video, but subscribe to this channel if you like what you see. And favorite the video because I like it when you do that. And I'll see you guys next time with a brand new video. Bye bye bye!